Welcome back, everybody. I just got a brand new kit in the mail. And when I say brand new, I mean pre-ordered, just produced, just showed up in the mail, just took it out of the box. And I don't normally jump on the newest kits, on the market. I like to wait and see some videos and let some other folks play guinea pig. I know that some companies, will send them to some of the big model channels and everything. And I'm sure they have. But I got this because number one, I've heard that Kinetic Gold kits are better than the standard Kinetic kits that have been out there. But I got this one because it's already set up to do a jet I wanted to do anyway. This Southeast Asia Scheme Heritage F-16 from the Texas Air National Guard. This is one that I was actually looking into before they started putting out. I believe, who put out a decal set for it? Caracal put out a decal set for it anyway. But when it first rolled out, I wanted to do one, and I slept on it because I've already got a million. I've got so many things going on all at once, and it's hard for me to finish a project because I kind of have this what I call builder's ADD, and that's not to make light of anybody's actual affliction or anything, but I get involved in one thing and then I get super excited about another and I bounce from project to project. And as an actual Air Force vet, I have a real love-hate relationship with the Viper anyway. And that all goes into, I know some people love the plane because it looks cool. Some people love the plane because, let's face it, there's been, the Air Force does not like to put out bad stuff about its own aircraft and systems. But when you get operational, and you have to work with this plane in actual, day to day, when you're in missions and this is in your stack, or you have to mission plan around it, it's a very versatile aircraft, but it has some serious limitations on the logistical and tactical level. Having to get this thing gas or go home every 45 minutes is a pain in the ass. Being out there in the field with a Viper in your mission package can be a challenge. But anyway, neither here nor there. So I wanted to get this kit. Sorry, I'll stop babbling. Let's take a look at what's in this kit, this new Kinetic Gold. Now, it's really just basically, they already put out an Air National Guard F-16 Block 3032 kit. So it's probably the same kit, but the big thing is we've got decals printed by Cartograph and designed by Fightertown Decals. Now that's kind of cool because Fightertown really has been a Navy. They've done some really great Navy decals if you're into them. Fightertown Decals has done some really nice sets, compatible with magfire, magnetic firepower, magnetizing your weapons and stuff. So in the kit, it looks like, from what I'm seeing so far, we've got some standard Kinetic F-16 parts here. With regards to our clear parts, yeah, I probably didn't need to do that. I probably could have just opened it. But we've got a C model canopy, and we've got a D model canopy, and there is just the slightest mold line. I don't know if it's even coming out. The slightest little mold line on the 2-seat canopy. And I don't even know if there is, I don't even think there's options in this kit to build a D model. So I don't even think it matters, but if you want one for your spares. There is. Hang on. I don't see anything. There is just the vaguest hint of a mold line here. You can feel it if you run your finger across it. You can barely see it. You have to really look to see it. Like I said, you can, if you run your nail on it, you can feel it a little bit. But I mean, it's the faintest little, it's not going to show up on camera, I don't think. I don't know, I'll have to see when I'm done. But just the faintest little mold line there. And of course, all your other clear parts. Clarity-wise, though, pretty good. These are your decal options. So 3 different jets for the Texas Air National Guard. So you've got the 75th anniversary heritage scheme. You've got that really nice Southeast Asia scheme. Be honest, I'm not sure if that's a have glass or just like a dark gray aggressor style scheme. Okay, yeah, oh, it says right there that's FS 36170. So that's a have glass. That's a little bit darker than you normally see a have glass portrayed. That's why it was throwing me off. Just looking at the visual, but it says right there, looking at the actual federal standard number. So that's a have glass jet, stencils. And you get some stenciling for the seat. You got lots of stencil, like any other Kinetic kit. So you've got stuff for your weapons. You've got enough for 2 AIM-9Xs, 2 AIM-9 mics, a GBU-24, you got targeting pods, a couple of 500-pound laser-guided bombs, you've got a couple of Mavericks, a couple of Harms, which, you know, really wouldn't be flying on a Block 30, but whatever you can do. I mean, the Block 30 can carry them, because in the history before, when F-4Gs were still flying, Block 25s and Block 30s would basically fly alongside them as a second pair of hard points for the F-4Gs. The F-4Gs would do all the targeting and all of the electronic work, and they'd fly in hunter-killer units with a Phantom and an F-16. And so the F-16s would basically haul a second set of harms for those Phantoms. So yeah, they could physically carry them. And you know, it's not to say that they couldn't, that a Block 30 couldn't engage with a harm, but there's other systems in a Block 50-52, different avionics to properly prosecute that Wild Weasel type mission, but we won't get into that right now. I know there have been upgrades and everything, but I'm just saying. So we got GBU-31s. So we've got some 2,000-pound GPS-aided bombs, GBU-38s, so we can do some 500-pound GPS bombs. So decent set of weapons that this plane might haul. And then we've got the actual decals, and they are beautiful looking. We've got decals for the cockpit, which actually look very nice. I know there's aftermarket cockpit sets you can get to put in here. I know Quinta has one. I know that Edward has one. But these decals actually are printed pretty nice. I mean, beautiful color and finish on these decals. And even though, well, you get 2 sets of stencils, for 2 different color tone jets, but you get markings for all of them, which is really nice. So, but excellent printing on the decals. They feel very thin. I mean, carrier film feels really thin. And the silver tones are done really, really nicely. They look like beautiful markings on it. As for the pieces, okay, so this is a little bit different. I have not seen this in a Kinetic kit, and I haven't built a Kinetic Viper in a while. So this is probably not new to others. You know what? I don't mind just slicing the bag open. I don't need to open it in any fancy way. I'm not going to sell or trade this thing. I'm just going to build it. Interesting styling of 2 different parts of the rear fuselage. And I'm hoping the camera will focus. Very finely recessed panel lines and rivet details there. I mean, and kind of a standard Kinetic style from what I remember in terms of construction and how everything goes together. You've got the vertical base that would let you build a cool Block 15 ADV, ADF if you wanted to later on. You could keep those pieces. That's cool. So that's definitely not going on this one, but extra pieces for some other variants, which is cool. Got some real nice inner cockpit detail, instrument combing. Some parts for building your APG-68. ASQ-213 harm targeting pods, which are not required to shoot a harm off the rail, but to use the harm to its full capacity in a preemptive targeting mission or certain modes that I'm not going to go into with the harm, you do need the ASQ-213. It makes the it also helps make a more accurate shot. You could just launch a harm off a rail at a signal, but there's like I said, I don't want to go too into it. There's software in the jet. There's a couple other black boxes in the jet and the ASQ-213 that goes along with the using the ALR-56 mic, which is a little different than the ALR-56 that's in the F-15. That helps make that harm do what we want it to do more effectively for the Wild Weasel seed roll. That would be the subject of a whole nother video. So yeah, a lot of this does look different from other Kinetic kits that I've built, but it does. Some of them do look like they've got some more detail going on. These, how many of them will I break and have to replace? The static discharges, the static wicks in the course of the production? All of them. The answer is all of them. I will break them all and have to scratch build replacements for all of them. That's just the way it goes with me. Turkey feathers for our GE engine. So I guess you probably don't get an option to build the Block 32 from what I'm seeing here, but you know, if the Texas jets are only Block 30s and that's what we're producing here, then that's what we've got, and that's okay. And a big mouth intake to match that GE engine. And we lost one intake piece. Gonna have to do just a little bit of filling and sanding inside the intake. Not a whole lot. They're not very deep ejector marks, but they're there. Not too much. And it looks like you're still even... Oh, wait, do we? Hold on. I might have spoken too soon. Do we get those, the smallmouth? It looks like we got a smallmouth intake in here. Oh, yeah, and we do get the turkey feathers for a Block 32. I spoke too soon. So if you wanted to, if you got this kit and you felt like building a Block 32 with the Pratt & Whitney, you could, because you have your smallmouth intake, or your NSI, your normal shock inlet, and you have the intake for that. So again, it's nice for the options. You've got some standard landing gear, main landing gear doors. You've got some bulged main landing gear doors. The one thing I like about the Kinetic kits is they give you lots of options. And again, you can feel free to build your kit however you want. You have the same very faint ejector pin marks on these intakes as well. You can build your jet however you want, but having the extras in spares is always nice. And then, so they do give you the tandem seat canopy, but in this particular kit, of course, you only have the single seat forward fuselage and more static discharges, and I'm guaranteed to break this one. If you can see, this one's already been bent up a little bit. Yeah, damn it. Ugh, this one's going to go first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pieces of cardboard and put them, sandwich them on there as I'm working to try to preserve them until I absolutely have to expose them. Here's your cockpit tub. and internal detail, which again, I'm sure is no different than most. And then we've got the usual stacks of weapons, although here, so we've got an ALQ-184 pod. Looks like we've got some sniper and lightning pods, and even lantern. So the detail here is okay. And give us the long ALQ-184, not the shorty. And clear parts for all the lenses for those. And then these look like even, you know what? These are even different weapon sprues than I'm used to in a Kinetic kit. So that's cool. So we've got the sidewinders are split up into, everything's split up. Okay, this is new for me. New, probably not new for most people, but so you can see we've got different models of sidewinders. So this is the fin end for the AIM-9X. This is an AIM-9J/P, AIM-9 Mike, and there's the AIM-9X, and this would be an earlier, I don't want to delve into what it could be, a D and E. I don't want to get into what that could be because I don't want to misspeak, because that's before my time. And then we have fuselage part. So where are the end? And then we have end fins for the earlier models. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. These look like sparrows. Or those, no, those are 120s. They'd be a little bulkier if they were, I don't know why I thought they would be sparrows. Those are AIM 120 bodies. And looks like we've got modern fins for all of them. So AIM 120Cs and Ds. Some kits had older, you know, A's in the old kit with the larger unclipped fins in their kits. Here's our harm parts. Really interesting that they're doing the multi-piece. I guess just to give you more to build, you know. It's weird. GBU-38s, GBU-12s, GBU-31, GBU-24s. Standard armaments on a Viper, you've got 2 of those. And then we've got our big wing drop tanks. Lao 129s for your wingtips. I forgot what these launch rails are actually designated as, but you know, really realistically, the Viper would just carry these on the wingtips and underneath. Now, only very early models would carry those because these can only handle sidewinders. These can carry 120s or 9s of any kind. And different model wheels for different types. This one looks a little messed up right here. Multi-piece Aces 2. More static discharges for me to break, and 2 pieces there. So overall, it does look like a big improvement on the old Kinetic kit. I don't know. Again, like I said, I've heard that this is a much improved kit. I hope that some of the appearance problems in the old kit are fixed. That would be awesome, but I'm very excited to get into this. The instructions don't look much different. I mean, order of operations seems kind of the same. Very detailed instructions, though. Nice, clear pictures. I don't know why they give you the option to put the old launch rails on the wingtips when you would never carry them. Even an old guard jet would never put those. There's no reason for those to be on the wingtips. It just, we're past that point. It's weird. It's very weird. So, very nice, clear instructions. I really like it. You can see in the instructions too. They show you putting together, like, here's the old AAQ 13 and 14 for the lantern system, which theoretically the F-16 could carry, but why would it carry the AQ-14 when it could carry the Sniper XR or the Lightning pod? I mean, old school, old Block 40s when, well, and I don't want to get too into it, but when we had the Night Falcon, yeah, they would carry lantern pods. They did that, but like in this version, they wouldn't, because they have better things. They wouldn't. But I guess they just give you the option. They give you the option to do it, so that's cool. And then they give you this this thing. Now I'd like to try the magnetic, you know, that mag fire. I've never worked with that. I'd like to try it. So, looks like a good kit. I'm excited, and you know, I'm really most excited to just finish it off in that Southeast Asian scheme. So it looks very promising, and I'm excited. So I'd love to hear feedback from folks that have built an older Kinetic F-16 and a newer one. And is the new one really as better, as good as people say? Or is it pretty much just the same thing with different parts, or what? Any interest? People excited to try this new one out, or what? This because this one I pre-ordered it as soon as I saw it. It was on pre-order for a few weeks. Took a couple weeks to get here, but here we are, and I'm really excited. I can't start it right. I have too many half-done projects all over the room. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to hear your input on this kit, and you know, the Kinetic experience as a whole. I built a few. I have a couple that are half finished in boxes somewhere, but please, thanks for joining me. Let me know what you think. For everybody out in YouTube land, building your own, keep building them, build them well. We'll get to this one soon. We've got other projects on the bench, but I will be posting another build video. We're back to armor. I'll get that up real soon.